Our first goal is to make the body of the horse. So let's start with grabbing an Aran weight yarn. I have Caron Simply Soft, and I like white color. And also I have a hook size 5 millimeters, and that's corresponding with the pattern. The first step is to make 21 chains. One of the easiest ways to make a slip knot is just using your hook. Grab your yarn on top of 3 fingers, clamp the ring finger and the pinky, and then wrap the short tail of yarn around your pointer finger, and then hold your yarn between middle finger and thumb. Then you would insert your hook under this yarn, and then you slowly hover over, making this unsecured loop. Then you grab this loop and leave a little bit of space in it, and then you go yarn over, turn your hook head so it can get through the loop, and pull it through the loop. Then you can secure the slip knot, and this is your slip knot. It is not the first stitch. The next step is to make 21 chains. Slip knot does not count as a chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see how I re-grab my work closer to the hook between my thumb and middle finger? That's the best way to control your tension. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 19, 20, and 21. We have our 21 chains. The row 1 tells us to make a single crochet into the second chain from hook. This is my first chain from hook, and this is my second chain from hook. I'm going to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. You just go all the way to the end. And just to remind you, the way single crochet works is you insert your hook into the next chain, pull yarn out, you have 2 loops on hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on hook. One more time. And I go to the end. Now we're at the end, and I see that I have 1 more chain, and then I have a slip knot. I will not work into slip knot, I will work into my last chain. There. This is going to be the first row. I have 20 across. Second row would begin with chain 1. I'm going to make a chain. Then I'm going to turn my work the opposite direction. And I'm going to make 15 single crochets. Now, we have 20 single crochets. So the plan is to make 15, make an ear, and make 5 more. You can see it very well in the chart, in the pattern, and on the blog. So let's go. We're going to go in the very first stitch of this row after we make our first chain. And now we make a single crochet and we make 14 more of them. And as a reminder, on the second row of single crochet, you will always go under both sides of the loop. If you see these V's that are going all the way across, you have to go under both sides of the V. So like this. And 15. And then we will have one more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more left. So we are doing everything correctly. If you look at the chart, then we have something different. We're making ear 1 or first ear. For that, the pattern says to make 3 chains. So we make 1, 2, 3 chains. Then we are going to make a yarn over and make a half double crochet into the second chain from hook. We're not going to this chain, we're going to this. So I have my yarn over, I go in, I pull yarn out, I have 3 loops on hook, I make another yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. Then the pattern says to put another one into the same space. The pattern actually says 2 half double crochets in second chain from hook. So we are going to make our second half double crochet into the same hole. As you see, it's already stretched, so it's easy to see it now. So let's go. Yarn over, insert hook into the same hole, pull yarn out. We have 3 yarns, 3 loops, unhook, then yarn over and pull through all 3. The next step is to put a half double crochet in next chain. So we already worked in this chain. We're going to go in next chain, but please don't forget to take a yarn over. Yarn over, go into next chain, pull yarn out, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on hook, and this is your ear. The next step is to make 5 single crochets to the end of row. So we are coming back to our line of stitches that we were making before. If I were to put it flat, you can see that I already made 15. I made my ear. It looks a little crooked for now. And then we have 5 more stitches that we need to make. These stitches are going to be single crochet. Insert into next stitch. Make sure you go under both sides of the V. Pull yarn out. You have 2 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through both, and we continue to the end of this row. And the last one is 5. Sometimes it's hard to find, but if you look closely, you will be able to find the stitch that also has 2 sides of the V. That's the last stitch. This is our row 2. It looks like this. So here we have 20 single crochets and 1 ear. We are going to go to row 3. To make a row 3, we make a chain, 1 chain. We turn our work to go a different direction. Then we make 5 single crochets. We are always going into the first opening that we see. Fifth is going to be right at the base of the ear. Then the instructions say skip ear. So we're going to set it aside. I usually put my ear to the front, not to the back, but I don't think it matters as long as you do the same motion both times on both ears. So I'm going to put mine to the front, and as you see, I already made stitch here as the first 5 single crochets. So I'm folding my ear, and then I'm also seeing where my next single crochet is. If this is my ear, the next V I see is this one. So I'm going to make 15 single crochets to the end of the row after I fold my ear. I'm just skipping my ear, I'm missing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything looks fine. And my ear looks like it's just sticking out on top. Because I folded it to the front towards me, it's going to stick on the right side. If I folded it to the back, it would have stuck on the opposite side. Our next row is row 4, and we are going to repeat essentially what we did in row 2. So we're going to make 15 single crochets, another ear, and 5 more single crochets to the end. So there's going to be another sticky thing out on this side. So let's go. Of course, we will begin with a chain. We're using single crochets here, and for single crochets, to raise up a level, you need just 1 chain. So I just made my chain. Now I'm going to turn my work. If you have a hard time turning your work, you can think of it as a page in a book, and you just turn it like you would turn a page in a book, and everything will align correctly. Then we are making 15 single crochets into the next stitches. So we will go into the first opening as usual. We're gonna make a single crochet, and we will make 14 more of them. And if your work twists like this, it's totally normal for crochet to twist and turn and roll. Don't worry about that. So we made 15 single crochets, and now we're making a second ear. It's done the exact same way as the first ear. We're making 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. Then we're making 2 half double crochets into this chain, the second chain from my hook. Yarn over. I hold my yarn over sometimes so they don't all squished together. And I go into the second chain from hook, pull out a yarn. I have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And I'm going to make one more into the same stretched loop. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull yarn out, have 3 on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then I go into the next chain. But before I go into the next chain, I make a yarn over again, hold it with my pointer just in case, go into that next chain, pull yarn out, have 3 on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. My second ear is made. Now all I need to do is make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets all the way to the end of this row. I insert my hook under both sides of the braid, 1 single crochet, our row number 4 is done. Now we are making row number 5. Row 5 is going to involve making 20 single crochets all the way across and skipping the ear, kind of ignoring it. In order to begin this new row, I'm going to make 1 chain, then I'm going to turn my work, and now I'm going to make my first 5 single crochets, always going into the first opening that I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The 5th looks like it's going to be at the base of the ear again. Then I fold my ear again to the front. If you were folding your ears to the back, please fold them to the back and be consistent, so you have both of your ears on the same side. Then I'm going to skip the ear and put my next single crochet into the next stitch. I made first out of 15, so I need to make 14 more. And 15. This is an almost done horse. The next row is going to be the easiest row of them all. All we do is make 20 single crochets all the way across. We make a chain to raise up a level. We turn our work and we zoom across. Single crochet 1, 2, 3, 18, 19, and 20. So the main crocheting work is done. Now what we need to do, we need to cut off the yarn. And I am going to leave, according to the instructions, I have to leave 12 inches or about 30 centimeters. So I'm just leaving a big chunk of yarn. I can always make it bigger and cut it down to the right size. And now I'm going to do a yarn over and pull this whole tail all the way through. If you look at this and then you look at this, it's the same. So what we need to do, we need to sew it in a tube, into a tube all the way across, just like it's done right here. And that's going to be our next step. For this step, you will need a needle. I like using tapestry or yarn needle, which has a very wide opening. Sometimes they are a little bent at the end, like this. And sometimes they even come in plastic form. So whatever you have, use that. If you're very desperate and you don't have any, you can also do a slip stitch with a hook, I guess. But I'm going to do it the way I teach in my pattern, so it's all consistent. I'm going to fold my horse in half, like this, and I will start sewing it together in tube, into a tube at the side where I have the yarn with the needle. So this is how I'm gonna go. It's already starting here at the tip, so I'm going to take the very corner on the other side, just gonna go in, and then my job is to align each stitch on each side with another stitch that is parallel to it. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm just gonna do a whip stitch, which is a very simple. I take one side, one loop, and another loop on the other side. And then I keep going like this, loop, a loop here on one side, and a loop on the other side. And I will keep doing that until I reach the very end. And align my ends. So I'm doing corner stitch and a corner stitch. And I'm gonna make a couple more stitches into that last one to secure it. And then what we need to do, we actually need to weave in the ends. So we don't want these yarns to stick out, or we don't want to tie a knot and leave it. So what I usually do, I weave in the ends. I already have a needle, that's very convenient. So I just go somewhere between the stitches for about an inch, like this. Then I turn it the other way and I go somewhere in between the stitches a different way, or the opposite direction, like that. Try not to pull too hard so there are no stitches that are made into holes. And then I'm gonna do that one more time, going in another third direction. Do you see how I'm changing where I'm doing it? My first weave in was closer to the edge. My second was a little bit off, and my third one is almost in the middle of the tube. Okay, now I am done. I don't think this will unravel. So I'm taking my needle off and I am simply cutting out this end. Now I'm going to use this yarn end and I'm going to weave in that one. I will on purpose go onto the other side. So I weaved in here. So I'm flipping and I am going to weave in about 1 inch here, then about 1 inch the other direction, and about 1 more inch in the third direction. Take out my needle. I'm going to grab my scissors and now I'm safely cutting. So we have this little guy that's ready to be put on a candy cane. I don't know, I'm personally I'm starting at the top and I just go like that. So that's my little horse guy. Dun, dun, dun. Yep, that's my horse. Now we need to put some eyes on. And I have googly eyes. These are glue on. Sometimes, these are the ones that you have to glue on your own. So I would place them probably somewhere below the ear on each side, and I use a glue gun to secure them. But we also have a big part of the horse that we're missing is a mane. So now we're going to go onto that part and we will make a mane. I think I'm going to make my mane with this variegated yarn. I think it will look really cool. So the instructions say we need to cut yarn into 20 to 24 strips, and each strip should be about 8 to 12 inches or 20 to 30 centimeters. Okay. I'm going to find my measuring stick. These are our centimeters. This is 20 to 30 centimeters. I'll go on a longer side so I can maybe give it a cute haircut at the end. And then here, so we go 8 to 12 inches. So kind of, for me, it's my distance from my elbow to my hand, like if you look like this. So I'll just cut it that way. And so I will take yarn here, right? And I go to my elbow right here. And that's a great length. And now I can measure against my first yarn. This, and I fold and cut. Or you can fold them all and cut them all together. And then we are going to, I like to keep it actually on the I like to keep my tube that we just crocheted on the horse, because then it's already shaped and we know where exactly to go in. So I'm going to grab some space right here between the horse's ears. You can go a little bit closer on the forehead, or you could just start in the middle. I'm gonna go right here, and I grab, so it looks like I'm grabbing about 2 loops, and they're random, so it's up to you where you stick them. And I'm going to move these guys and only grab the 2 strands that I need. So in each of these openings that I decide to use, I'm going to tie in 2 strands. So I grab them in the half point, pull them through, and then I do a yarn over using all of them and pull through that yarn. So this is it. That's the main. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do a different color. So this time I'm gonna do purple. I'm going to insert my hook in a space, next space, like next possible space with the hook. I'm grabbing these 2 strands right in the middle, putting them through that space with my hook, then grabbing a yarn over of all 4 of these strands and pulling it out. Okay, that's my next one. I'll be creative and I'll go for the next color. Blue. I am going into the next possible hole between ears, grabbing the 2 strands right in the middle point, pulling them out, wrapping them all around my hook and pulling through. I hope you got the idea by now. I am going to do the rest of them real quick. Okay, this is what we got. It looks super cute on this side. You can make more, you can go all the way to the bottom. I'm gonna stick with these, so let's see how many we had. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I had 22 strands. And that was this, and then this is what it looks like on the other side. This may seem to you like it's not very secure, so what I like to do sometimes is to give it either like a hairdo, kind of like this, like a roll, so it looks like a cute lollipop. You can grab the lowest 2 strands, wrap them around one time, like this, making sure you got everything in. And then taking a hook, putting it through that little ponytail, making a knot. There. Could do that, and then put a little dot of glue somewhere here, or you could just leave it. And in fact, I'm going to give a haircut to my horse. And I want my haircut to be a little slanted. Ah. I promise these scissors are really good for cutting little pieces of yarn, but when you get a big chunk, it's not good. So that's my horsey. What do you think? Thank you for watching my tutorial. Please subscribe to my blog and my YouTube channel for more content.